Hey, lighten up, jerk!
So you're also, since I've come to know you, you talk a lot about some of your travel experiences. You go out to a bunch of different places, U.S., internationally. And we had someone on the podcast several months ago, a friend of ours, Christina, great gal. And, she's a young female that just kind of goes around, does a bunch of stuff. And what made you kind of want to start, going out traveling? When did you what was like your first big trip?
When did you get bit by the travel bug?
It was random.
Yeah.
I decided to get my password first. Okay, sorry, I'm slurring my speech.
Your password?
Okay, just don't. I'm sure people won't notice. So don't bring attention to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
the password is
Passport. It all started with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
Things was going south. I decided to get a passport.
You get away from that crazy bitch, right?
Yeah. And then I decided to get a passport, and then after that, I started deciding where to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. The only thing you got to look out for is the travel ban. The travel ban.
Certain countries are like, they have like the advisory.
No, not only advisory. Your U.S. citizens are banned to enter.
Really?
Okay.
What was one of the places that you wanted to go that you like U.S. citizens are banned from? At the time?
Venezuela.
Oh, really?
Venezuela, it's one of the countries that's travel banned in South America.
Mm-hmm. Wait, when was this?
Oh, this was a couple of years ago.
That makes sense.
There's a list where U.S. citizens cannot go.
Like, so you couldn't go to,
the State
because I know
Department.
some people with Cuba we had all that stuff going on.
Yeah,
So people
now-
would go through Canada and then travel there
To
through
Cuba,
Cuba.
yeah.
Was
But-
that something you could do to go to Venezuela, or is it just
No, because I'm a U.S. native.
Yeah, so it's U.S.
So
citizens
you
at
gotta
all.
be native of Canada in order to
I
go
see.
around it.
Wow. Okay.
Unless I don't know, maybe your parents are Canadian and then you somehow could go around that and then become native.
But
I don't know.
it's U.S. citizens. No matter how you try to get there, it's no go.
Yeah, like some of my buddies, they're born in Central America and they could get Central American passport and U.S. passport, so they could use either or.
They have dual citizenship.
Dual citizenship.
I see.
Dual citizenship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, other than that, probably 8 countries out of the whole freaking world. I mean, you got plenty. So,
True.
so yeah.
But no, I wouldn't have known that. I didn't. Well, I mean, Venezuela makes sense. I don't know if I'd really want to travel there, to be honest.
Right?
But
I know, especially
not
right now. Especially right now.
I like South America where my dollar could go a long way. I like third world countries.
Yeah, you do
Right,
talk about that.
But
a lot.
I mean, right now in Venezuela,
You'd be a king.
Yeah.
Well, no, not necessarily, because they're actually their money is so worthless that they're doing it by the pound.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so
It's-
they're
I know
they're
it's
taking
bad,
their money,
but
and they're weighing it, and that's the value
That's
of it.
dude.
That's
And
post
they're
World
and
War
they're-
I Germany.
No, exactly, and they're trying to kind of mess with it a little bit by adding sprinkling dirt on it to make it weigh more so you can get more. So
God damn.
yeah, I mean
I know they were eating dogs and cats.
yeah,
and
and
shit.
they've eaten their entire all the zoo animals are gone, and not because they escaped, but because people ate them.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
mean
that's
they're
how
having
bad it is right
they're trying to overthrow the people are trying to overthrow the government right now
Right.
over there.
Yeah, Maduro. They're trying to get because something with their last election wasn't legitimate, and so their constitution mandates that some I forget who it is specifically in their government, but they take over, and a lot of countries, including the U.S. and have recognized this other guy as the interim president. So yeah, it's kind of in the baby stages of a revolution over there.
Yeah,
Crazy.
pretty crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Anyways, but back to happier things. Like, what was your favorite place? What was your favoriteest place that you traveled to?
You know what? My favorite place had to be Thailand.
Oh,
This guy, yeah. James loves Thailand.
2015. It was beautiful. It's cheap, beautiful. Nightlife is crazy.
The food,
The food,
is
everything. So it's the full package. In the
Yeah.
day, there's all the nature stuff you could
Right,
do. At
right.
night, it's like the crazy nightlife. You know what I mean? When
Right.
did you go there?
Good. I want to say 3 years ago, 2016. Wait, was that 16? 3 years ago?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I went
2016.
15. Yeah, so about the same
2-3
time.
years ago.
Yeah. 2016.
Where
you
in
know what?
Thailand?
I don't regret it. Bangkok and what is
Pattaya?
it? Pattaya.
Oh, Pattaya's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. Did you go to the
I mean-
islands? Any of the islands?
I wish I would.
Yeah, that was fun.
But I only had maybe 9 days, 8-9 days.
Yeah.
So I was limited, but still, I have fun.
it was
I mean,
crazy. I'd go back for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I definitely would want to go back in other parts. I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh,
And the food, I mean, if you like Thai food, hey, that's the spot to go.
it's bomb.
Bomb,
You had a meal for
fresh.
like less than $2.
Right.
Good meal. Yeah.
And the beer is super cheap too.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember being humid. But I'm used to
Yeah.
humidity, you know,
Oh.
islands, New York, yeah. So definitely, if you've never been to Thailand, hey, that's the spot to go.
It's a spot to go.
Yeah.
I heard Vietnam is fun too. I'd like to go there. Philippines, I have a lot of Filipino friends, so
Okay.
a lot of like nice beaches too, super cheap too. That's
Yeah,
what
definitely.
I hear. So
Yeah, I never been to Europe, but I'm
Same
saving.
here, yeah.
I'm saving that for last because Europe, I heard, is expensive.
Very
so,
expensive.
So the dollar, you know, you're actually losing money.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally like to travel where my dollar
Oh,
could go
yeah.
a long way.
Right.
I actually touched $1 million, but not in the U.S.
that's right. You told me this story.
This was actually in Colombia.
okay.
I touched $1 million with $800.
Oh,
I was like, sweet. I was like, hell
Oh,
yeah.
when you got it like
Yeah.
converted.
Yeah, converted. I touched $1 million.
Wow,
my
800.
God.
Wait, well, back then, well, whenever you went.
This was 2 years ago.
Okay. So the exchange rate was $800 was equal to $1 million.
$1 million point something.
Yeah.
Jesus.
In Colombian
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, so I was
Wow.
like,
That is
hell
crazy,
yeah.
dude.
I was like, I can't seriously say I touched $1 million.
we'd all be millionaires, dude.
I know. Dang.
Right? And yeah.
Yeah. That always that's it's funny. Whenever that reminds me of that story of J.P. Morgan. Like not just like the financial institution, but like the actual person that's it's named after. But the story goes that his dad, who was also like this big kind of multi-millionaire, and he came to him as a boy with $1 million in cash. And he's like, here, it's like, and he put it in front of him. It's like, pick it up, and he picked it up. It's like, feel the weight, and they takes it away from him. It's like, now go make your own. I was like, damn, that has to be like the most craziest like inspirational, motivator
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
world.
yeah,
Like actually
yeah.
feeling the weight of
Yeah.
$1 million. And it's
Yeah.
like, and like being challenged, like, all right, now go make your own.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah,
In that case,
I know.
I'll
I know. But
hire-
if my kid ever, like, if I ever got to that point, and my kid got all smart ass, he's like, let's go to Colombia.
that too, yeah. Or go to Asia.
Yeah, it's like, you little
Hire-
smart ass.
Hire at least 15 to 20 girls and have them work for you, and there you go, you can flip it.
God.
You can make, I'm telling you, if you would make prostitution legal in the U.S., I think the rate will go down.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
on- not only that, but I mean, people will actually be happier in life.
But the crazy thing is, it's people are doing it anyway, right? There's like so many
Illegally,
ways.
yeah.
But I mean, if you like get some sort of regulation on it, then you could like in theory you can then tax it, and you could
Yeah.
like you could have a closer eye on it, have
Yeah.
like specific standards, and have like mandatory testings and da da da.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen in the U.S.
Yeah,
though,
I mean,
right?
it'll never happen.
I mean, I said that about cannabis, weed, reefer. It will never be legal, and
here we are.
here we
Here
are.
we are.
Just like alcohol,
Uh-huh.
it was legal at one point. I mean,
I don't know, but like I think there's but there are thresholds, and I
Yeah.
think there are some thresholds that people aren't willing to cross, and
yeah, that's
I think prostitution would be one of it. I mean, cocaine I think would be another one.
Cocaine's a hell of a
Yeah,
drug.
it's a hell of a drug, but I don't think people would be or black tar heroin, things like that. There's certain thresholds that
extreme. Yeah.
yeah. Although one time, just as a thought experiment, I did challenge somebody who was like saying like, oh yeah, we should make illegal all drugs, and I took the counterpoint because I like to.
Because you like to be an asshole.
I know, yeah, I like to be an asshole.
Yeah,
so
but isn't one of the European countries everything legal, like all drugs? I heard. I don't know. Maybe
I know, like Amsterdam is
Amsterdam,
like.
I mean,
the
Amsterdam
prostitutes in
was like the
Amsterdam.
leader, and they were the first. Like they were kind
Yeah,
of like
'cause-
they were like the ones to one of the first to legalize weed. But I don't know about hard drugs like that.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any place that where like the super like crazy hard drugs are legal per se.
Right.
I think everywhere is like, it's kind of like looked down on.
Yeah, like for example, I mean, I've gone to Colombia myself, and that's maybe the second best country, in my opinion.
in South America.
Right. Not only because prostitution is legal. Okay, let me repeat. Let me repeat myself. Not only prostitution is legal, but pimping is illegal. So
Pimping is okay.
prostitution is legal,
Prostitution.
but pimping is
So-
illegal.
So they're not like kind of held in slavery. They're kind of in charge of themselves.
Right. And prostitutes, they legally pay taxes. They pay taxes. It's a trade.
Right.
Yeah, it's a legal
And
trade.
it's regulated.
So those
So-
women become their own. Their own business.
Yeah. So just like the Secret Service in Cartagena.
Oh yeah.
They got taxed
Yeah.
by the prostitutes. They got taxed, and then they were refusing to pay a ridiculous amount. But over there, they got something with currency. They thought it was way too much, but it was actually Colombian currency, and then they were.
Oh, so they're asking like $1,000,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then in
So
Colombian money.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like
They didn't know any better, so the prostitutes or the male escorts or whatever you want to call it, they called the cops on them, and then that's how they, the
Oh,
whole
that's how- and
scandal,
that's
the
how-
whole
okay.
scandal, and blah blah blah, and yeah, so yeah. I mean,
Well, now we know you love Colombia.
yeah, Colombia. You know what? Yeah, definitely gotta check that out.